All right, guys, today we have more PlayStation news to go over and discuss. Before we get into it, make sure you do me a big favor and hit that like button to help the video out and show your support, and hit that subscribe button as well if you are new here to the channel. We're starting here, though, talking about The Last of Us Remake, which has not been officially announced yet, but we have an interesting rumor surrounding this remake that I think many of you will be interested in, especially those of you who own a PlayStation 5 or who are planning to eventually acquire a PlayStation 5. So it says the rumored Last of Us Remake is not going to be a simple resolution and performance upgrade, according to an online report. Game Reactor, which proved to be reliable in the past, revealed in a new report that the yet-to-be-announced remake isn't going to be in the vein of the PlayStation 4 remaster. The PlayStation 5 remake will take advantage of the console's power and of the features seen in The Last of Us Part 2 engine, improving not only graphics, but a few other unspecified things. And so this is exactly what Game Reactor had to say. While it would have been a lot of fun to see the world's reaction to a surprise reveal of this project, Jason Schreier's report about what's been going on at PlayStation Studios lately spoiled it to some degree. I say to some degree because people seem to think that this will basically just be in the vein of The Last of Us Remastered. Let's not blow expectations out of the water by hyping it up too much, but this won't be a simple improvement of resolution, frame rate, and textures. The kennel is going to really take advantage of PlayStation 5's power and features with The Last of Us Part 2's engine, not just in terms of graphics, but a few other things as well. The article continues by saying The Last of Us Remake has yet to be officially announced, but at this point, it seems certain it is in the works. Speaking during a podcast last month, Bloomberg's Jason Schreier revealed that Naughty Dog is working on this remake to keep the staff busy while other projects are in pre-production. And I wanted to be sure to read this last part because we didn't really talk about this too much. Jason Schreier is obviously the one who revealed or leaked The Last of Us Remake, but he went on to explain in a podcast later on, I think at MidMax, that the reason why Naughty Dog is choosing to do this, and I think this is important because a lot of people were asking, why are they doing this so soon, is apparently to keep the staff busy while they're in pre-production with their next project. Apparently, the pre-production phase for Naughty Dog's next project is going to take quite a bit of time because that whatever they're going to do next, it's going to be colossal in size, scale, and scope, and it's going to have a massive budget behind it, and it's going to take a lot of time. So they want to make sure they get it right. They want to make sure they nail it down. And in the meantime, they have hundreds of employees who are apparently not really left to do much. So this is what they're choosing to do. Now, you could still make the argument that, well, rather than working on a Last of Us remake, couldn't they do a remake of something else? Anything else? And the answer to that is yes, they could, but apparently this is what they want to do. And it will also give them the benefit of becoming more familiar with the PlayStation 5's hardware, obviously, which will benefit them. And, I think we also have to acknowledge that I think a portion of Naughty Dog staff is maybe okay with the idea of playing it safe for at least the next year, maybe next year and a half, by remaking The Last of Us while the people who are in charge of figuring out what their next big project is going to be, they're in the planning stages, they're figuring that all out. I think they're okay with that because, it's going to give them a little bit of a break. Again, I know not everybody wants to hear that, but we know how intense of a development cycle The Last of Us Part 2 was, and so to be able to kind of just, focus on learning the PS5 hardware, trying to max it out, do some really good work, I guess you could say, in figuring out everything about this new hardware, right? And doing so while remaking The Last of Us, it's kind of understandable. But what's interesting to me about this is they're making it clear, Game Reactor, that this is apparently going to be a very impressive remake. And, whether you're excited for The Last of Us Remake or not, I think that that's going to be honestly critical with this announcement, right? Because I've said in podcasts on the channel when this report came out, I've said that I think everybody's going to not feel good about this. They're going to be scratching their heads and asking, why, Sony, are you remaking The Last of Us already? And then once they actually show it, people are going to be so impressed by it that that conversation is mostly going to just dissipate, right? And people are going to be excited. That may not be the case, but if they're really going to try to go above and beyond to really make this like a a big undertaking, right? Like a big remake, not just something simple that's a bump in resolution and frame rate like we saw with Remaster, then I think maybe, you know, more people will end up being on board with it than we think. But we're going to have to wait to see. I just wanted to let you guys know that this is apparently something that Naughty Dog's doing. They're going all in with this remake and, you know, making sure it's not just going to be a simple, you know, up-res and higher frame rate, better textures. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what it looks like when it's finally revealed. But we're going to move on from that and talk about a new studio that is partnered with PlayStation, that being Haven Studio. This is the new studio that was just founded by Jade Raymond, and we know that they're currently in the very early stages and early process of working on a new PlayStation 5 exclusive IP. So it says here, reading from VGC, that several notable Stadia employees have followed Jade Raymond to the recently established Haven Entertainment Studios. Former Stadia game boss Jade Raymond announced Montreal, Canada-based Haven Studio in March, shortly after Google said it was closing all of its internal game development teams in order to focus on partnering with third-party studios. Backed by Sony Interactive Entertainment, the new studio from the veteran Assassin's Creed producer is set to create an original IP for PlayStation 5. As noted by Reset Era, Jade Raymond has been joined by 6 former Stadia employees, including Sebastian Puel, whose LinkedIn profile also lists him as one of Haven's co-founders. Sebastian, who was most recently Stadia Games and Entertainment's Director General, was one of the key figures behind Assassin's Creed and acted as the franchise's executive producer for almost 10 years, from Assassin's Creed 2 to 2014's Unity. And they go on to talk about the other individuals who are joining Jade Raymond, but I wanted to take a moment to let you guys know about this because, in my opinion, it's becoming very clear that whatever this game is going to end up being, that's being developed by Haven Studio, it's going to be very big. And it's exciting to think that all of this talent is kind of coming together and they're basically being given free reign by Sony, right? Sony, I think, is feeling confident in this team because they're veterans. They've been responsible for, you know, the creation of a mega franchise like Assassin's Creed. And in my opinion, it's just going to be very exciting to see what they end up producing. I'm going to obviously continue to follow this and update you guys with anything we learn. But what we learned here is that 6 individuals who were working with Jade Raymond for Google, they ended up leaving. So pretty much this new studio that was formed by Google to create a big AAA first-party IP for them, it just completely moved over to PlayStation now, which is awesome, and I'm actually really happy to see that. So we'll see what else comes of this. I'm sure it's going to be quite some time before we see this game. But moving right along here, I want to talk about PlayStation Plus because it seems that PlayStation Plus members get exclusive early access to Wreckfest on PlayStation 5. So this is reading from Push Square, and it says Sony has repeatedly reiterated that it wants to improve the value of PlayStation Plus in order to retain subscribers as it transitions to the PlayStation 5 era, and this may be another example of that. Wreckfest's next-gen port is available a month early to members. The game doesn't officially launch on PlayStation 5 until June 1st, but PS Plus users can download and play the racer right now. So it says here, to their knowledge, this is the first example of early access on PlayStation Plus that they're aware of. There have been day one launches in the past, like Oddworld Soulstorm, for example, but usually the official release date is scheduled to coincide with the rollout of the free PS Plus games. In this instance, non-subscribers will have to wait until next month to purchase the game or upgrade their PS4 copy. So it goes on to say that even the language on the PlayStation Store suggests that this is an unprecedented situation, labeling the release as a PS Plus exclusive for May 2021's other games like Battlefield 5 and Stranded Deep. It just says PS Plus included. So I wanted to mention this to you guys because, again, this is something that kind of flew under the radar. And I want to make everybody aware of the fact that this is something that Sony is looking to do, give PlayStation Plus members early access to stuff like this. And so if you are somebody who was interested in this game, I mean, obviously you're already feeling good because if you're subscribed to PS Plus, you're going to get it for free. But knowing that you have early access to it for a month exclusively just kind of sweetens the deal a little bit, right? So it's going to be interesting to see if Sony continues to do more stuff like this. It really seems like they are getting very serious. They have been very serious about really trying to improve the value of PlayStation Plus, which I'm all about. I think that's great, and will be interesting to see what they do next. But I'm going to close out this video by just letting everybody know that Returnal has another update that has come out. I actually think this is the second update since the game launched, but this one seems to be a little bit more significant. So Returnal update 1.003 is what I'll call it, and its patch notes have been detailed by Housemarque, and it finally fixes a number of stability issues and the trophy bugs. However, any bugged trophies will need to have their conditions met again to earn, which is annoying, especially for apparently PlayStation Universe, because, you know, they actually did unlock these trophies or meet the requirements, and they're going to have to redo it. This means that you will have to delete your save and replay the entire game again to earn them. So, I mean, that's obviously pretty disappointing. You know, it's always disappointing when we see stuff like this, like bug trophies and whatnot. I'm glad they got fixed very quickly. And, you know, it is nice that they got this out sooner rather than later. But if you are one of the unlucky individuals who met the requirements for some of these trophies and it didn't pop, you're going to have to, like it says here, delete your save file and replay that. Maybe for some people that's not a big deal, but I think for most people who earned it, it's not going to feel great. But just to go over some of the other issues that were fixed, says here, fixed an issue where certain trophies might not unlock under certain specific gameplay conditions. Note, missing trophies will need to be replayed to unlock. Multiple stability fixes addressing rare crashes / hangs. Fixed issue with pre-order suits occasionally blocking item collection and door opening. Fixed incorrect healing behavior when resting in Helios. Configuration changes to increase the number of scout corpses available in all biomes. Fixed issues with certain custom controller mappings, and numerous minor fixes and improvements. So in general, this is a seemingly pretty significant patch that is ironing out a lot of bugs, squashing a lot of bugs, and just making it an overall smoother gameplay experience. You know, other than the fact that some people are going to lose their runs, you know, with this update, but still, it's nice to see that Housemarque is quickly taking care of this stuff. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. I hope you did find it informative. If you did, be sure to leave it a like, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share this video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.